All right, finally. Good evening or good morning, football fans. Big Al here on this late Wednesday night. It's September 20th, 2023. To the week 4 college football television schedule and the broadcast right into this and waste no time. We have 2 games on Thursday, so Carolina, Matt Berry and Dan Mullen, and on ESPNU is Arkansas Pine Bluff at Alabama A&M, Tiffany Green and Jay Walker. Then you have 4 games on Friday. The first game is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4-1. Wisconsin at Purdue, Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. On ESPN at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. NC State at Virginia, Anisha Roth, Andre Ware, and Paul Carcaterra. The last 2 games on Friday are at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. Boise State at San Diego State, Rich Waltz and Aaron Taylor. And on FS1, Air Force and the early portion of the schedule, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games starting at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. On ABC, it's number 4 Florida State at Clemson, Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy. On Fox's Big Noon Saturday, number 16 Oklahoma at Cincinnati, Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. On ESPN, Auburn at Texas A&M, Bob Wischusen and Robert Griffin III. On ESPN2, Virginia Tech at Marshall, Roy Philpott and Roddy Jones. On FS1, SMU at TCU, it's the Battle of the Metroplex with Eric Collins and Devin Gardner. On ESPNU, Western Kentucky at Troy, John Sheffrin and Rocky Boyman. On the SEC Network, Kentucky at Vanderbilt, Taylor Zarzar and Matt Stinchcomb. On BTN, Rutgers at number 2 Michigan, Corey Provis and Jake Butt. On the ACC Network, Army at Syracuse, Chris Cotter and Mark Herzlich. And on CBS Sports Network, Tulsa at Northern Illinois, Eastern, 10:30 Pacific. On ESPN Plus, it's Western Michigan at Toledo, Michael Reggie and Gerard Cherry. And at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ESPN Plus, Georgia Southern at Ball State, Jim Barber and Tioka Jackson. Now we're into the late afternoon schedule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have 15 games beginning at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. All 4 of the over-the-air broadcast networks will be having a game. On ABC, it's number 19 Colorado at number 10 Oregon, Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer. On the Home Depot SEC on seat number 15 Ole Miss at number 13 Alabama, Tom McCarthy, Jason McCourty, and Ross Tucker. On Fox, number 22 UCLA at number 11 Utah, Jason Benetti and Brock Heward. On NBC, Worth and Jason Garrett. On ESPN, BYU at Kansas, Mark Jones, Louis Riddick, and Quint Kessenich. On ESPN2, it's number 20 Miami at Temple, Lowell Galindo, and Kurt Morrison. Then you have a couple games of regional interest on BTN. Some will see Florida Atlantic at Illinois, Jason Ross Jr. and Howard Griffith. Others will see Louisiana Tech at Nebraska, Mark Followell and Matt Millen. On CBS Sports Network, it's number 18 Duke at Connecticut, Chris Lewis and Robert Turbin. And then you have 5 games streaming on ESPN Plus. Texas Tech at West Virginia is Drew Carter and Dustin Fox. Delaware State at Miami of Ohio is Anthony Lima and Ryan Kavanaugh. New Mexico at Massachusetts has no broadcast team announced. Ohio at Bowling has no broadcast team announced for that game either. At 4 was Papa ESPNU, right at South Florida, Jay Alter and Renee Igogila. On the SEC network, UTSA at number 23, Tennessee, Dave Neal and Derek Mason. They have 2 games on ESPN Plus, streaming at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. South Alabama and Eastern Michigan at Jacksonville State. No broadcast teams have been announced for those 2 games. Also on ESPN Plus at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, Gardner Webb at East Carolina, James Westling and Reggie Walker. At 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, on the ACC on the CW, it's Georgia Tech at Wake Forest, Tom Warney and James Bates. On ESPN Plus at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, is Liberty at Florida International. No broadcast team has been announced for this game. That brings us now kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. On Fox, you have number 14 Oregon State at number 21 Washington, Levering and Mark Helfrich. On ESPN is Arkansas at number 12 LSU, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. On ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus is Charlotte at number 25 Florida, Clay Matvick and Aaron Murray. On the Pac-12 network, Arizona at Stanford, Teddy Roth. On CBS Sports Network is Appalachian State at Wyoming, Carter Blackburn and Randy Cross. Colorado State at Middle Tennessee, at Texas State, and Southern Miss at Arkansas. No broadcast teams announced for those 3 games. Nichols at Tulane is Richard Cross and Taylor McCargway. And Sam Houston at Houston is Mark Neely and Ryan Leaf. And then after that, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4:30 Pacific. On ABC, Saturday Night Football, number 3 Texas at Baylor, Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Tom Luginbill. On the Home Depot Big Ten on CBS, it's the Whiteout at Happy Valley as number 7 Penn State hosts number 24 Iowa. Brad Nessler and Gary on Big Ten Saturday night on NBC. Well, actually, it's Notre Dame football on NBC, but either way, it involves a Big Ten school. It's the game of the week. Number 6 Ohio State at number 9 Notre Dame, Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge. On ESPN2, UAB at number 1 Georgia, Brian Custer and Rod Gilmore. On ESPNU, Memphis battles Missouri. They're playing this game in St. Louis. That's Courtney Lau and Hudson Mason. On the SEC network, Mississippi State at South Carolina, Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kubelic. And 2 more games are Northwestern, Lisa Byington and Anthony Herron. Others will see Akron at Indiana, Connor Onion and Adam Brenneman. And streaming on ESPN Plus at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific is Buffalo at 8 p.m. Eastern Pacific. On FS1, UCF at Kansas State, Eric Collins and Devin Gardner. On the ACC network, number 17 North Carolina at Pittsburgh, Wes Durham and Tim Hasselbeck. On KJZZ TV in Salt Lake City and Mountain West Conference Digital is James Madison, Utah State, No broadcast team has been announced for this game. At 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on ESPN, Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. On ESPN's and on CBS Sports Net Pacific, New Mexico, and there is no broadcast team announced for that game. And that is the Week 4 college football television schedule and the announcers for every game this weekend. All right. And here for my Week 3 NFL picks. So please join me for that. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy.